next trade scenario.
Okay. This one I even hated, but
You
no, not that I hated it. I had to show somebody something. Okay, you can put it up, and I'll tell you why.
That's it's 04 or 05.
I forgot what this
004 or 005.
005.
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
This is. I feel like this is Ebony-esque.
Yeah. This is.
Oh, I love
this.
This
is Ebony-esque.
I love this. Yo.
This is Dan Hurley.
Do it now.
This is Dan Hurley. If Dan Hurley was coach, this is what I would do.
Do it now.
And that is trading Karl Anthony Towns, because Dan Hurley is not gonna so you're trading Karl Anthony Towns, Huck Porty, and we're getting back Jalen Johnson from Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Dalton Knecht from the Lakers, and Jared Vanderbilt, and a couple picks.
Love it. Love this trade.
Can we swap Huck Porty? Put someone else next to Towns?
I tried it with Kolick and it didn't work. It's like 600,000. There's probably some ways they can probably fix it, but yeah.
What about Dadier?
Hell no.
There's probably ways they can fix it. Some backwards ways. Yeah, we could probably use. Yeah, we could probably
see
use
the chat
like,
reaction on this.
Fritz, I will fire you if you was the GM.
No. And I said this is Dan Hurley. This is
So
Dan
you're
Hurley.
telling me, and Lee, you took it all y'all nodded.
Yeah, I love
Jalen
it.
Johnson is better than Karl Towns, and then
No,
again
he's
you're
not.
giving up the
He's not.
backup center
No, he's
for
not.
one guy.
No,
Not
3
better.
guys in 2 picks.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy from Atlanta you wanted to get real quick too? You said Jalen Johnson and who? You said Dyson Daniels.
and then
You
the
said
rest
that's
are
Daniel
Lakers.
Souls.
No, the rest are Lakers. So Dalton Knecht,
Vanderbilt.
the shooter, Jared Vanderbilt. Defender.
Jalen is terrible. We need people who can play. He hasn't played in like 10
I know,
seasons.
but 2 picks also. But if I'm talking about Dan Hurley style, this is Dan Hurley style. Because yeah.
Now this is a
This is Dan Hurley.
This is a
like I'm telling you, if the Knicks
conversation right now.
If the Knicks
like
hire
it.
Dan Hurley, this team will not look the same.
This is a philosophical conversation right now.
Because Dan Hurley, he wants to play the game like we're pressing all game long, and you need bodies.
Yeah.
You need bodies.
They gonna press all day with Jalen Brunson?
What?
Phil's
no cat there.
If Jalen plays 25 minutes, Jalen plays 25 minutes. That's the type of thing where he's at. Like you're not gonna be lazy.
Out of here, because Jalen Brunson's not playing 25 minutes.
I know, but if that's all the energy he has, that's all the energy he has. Like we're playing all game.
Hold on. B. I'm rocking with you this one. I'm rocking with you. All right.
Because I need what y'all had earlier. I'm
rocking with you this one because I had this philosophical conversation with them.
Because we're not. He's not a coaster. You're not going to coast for 40 minutes. You're not going to coast for 40 minutes with Dan Hurley. Like we're going to play hard when you're in the game. If you're tired, I'll get you out of the game. But we're not coasting.
Are we going too far with over relying on Jalen Brunson to create everything by just going complete offense for complete defense, except for a role-playing shooter? Because I felt like the strength of our team this year was we were able to sit Jalen Brunson on the bench and everything would not completely fall apart. If you make this move, we're kind of reverting back a little bit to, once Jalen Brunson's on the bench, you just kind of hope we have enough.
And you're telling me when you take Jalen Brunson over, you put Jalen Johnson by himself? What are we going to do? Tell me, Fritz. What are we going to do? It's exactly crickets.
We still got OG. We still got Mikal. We still got you still got everybody in there. It's just Towns isn't there.
Yeah, I would love for him to stay there.
I know, but
Unless again you're
it
giving
has to do with the
Giannis
coach.
Antetokounmpo.
I always have a philosophy that is really
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's when you have a quarter and you trade it. When you have $1 and you trade it for 4 quarters, you probably shouldn't do it. And that's how I kind of feel like we do.
The quarters might fall out. You might lose one.
That's how I kind of feel like I feel like we're going too. I feel like we're leaning too far on the offense defense thing. Because now we're just back to having when Jalen Brunson's on the bench, you're just hoping that the other guys can hold up.
I want to make an argument in defense of Fritz.
By the way, I really like Jalen Johnson. He's a very good
Everybody likes Jalen
forward,
Johnson.
by the way.
Yeah.
Very good Jalen.
I like Jalen Johnson a lot.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
So
Sorry.
I'm defense first. I like this trade. I'm glad Fritz didn't include Mitchell Robinson or Deuce McBride in it, which makes me like it even more. I love the idea. This roster is a roster any coach in the NBA can come in and maximize because you don't have a defensive liabilities at the 1-5 and pick and roll with Cat and Brunson. Is Cat the best player in this trade? Absolutely. Is Jalen Johnson as good as Cat? Absolutely not. But Jalen Johnson is a rising player, one of the few to average 20, 10, and 5 this season. 5 assists at the 4 spot. I was doing a lot of research on him on advanced analytics. I plan on writing a piece on him for The Guardian as a Nets great NBA pro, and then he got injured. And everything went downhill. Mm-hmm. I had him projected as probably the runaway favorite for most improved player this year. I think he'll win it next year because he's probably going to average 25 or 26 next year with a fully defensive lineup that they have over there in Atlanta. He is an incredible defensive player, one-on-one, average 1.6 steals this year as well. His offensive game is growing. The only thing he needs to add is a consistent 3-ball. That's my one issue I have with this trade because now you're pairing him with Mitch. 2 guys at trouble spacing the floor. Unless you're activating Mitch as a lob threat in the pick and roll, this really complicates things offensively. Johnson has not yet stretched with a consistent 3-ball. He shot 31%. That's the downside. Vanderbilt is a stretchy guy who can guard 1-5, 1-5 in spades, but 2-4 consistently. And then Dalton Knecht gives you 3-point shooting off the bench. I see the vision here. Plus a 13th pick in one of the best drafts in years. You can pretty much plug and play any positional need that you have, but it's a 3 or a 4 or a 5. There's lots of options there. This is a trade that I would do to get off a $50 million deal and get a $25-30 million extended Jalen Johnson, have more financial flexibility. I absolutely see the vision. Johnson is a future all-star by probably next year.
Yeah, and I just want to say to Lee's point also about Jalen Johnson and the spacing, it kind of reminds me he has a handle. He can get to the rim. It kind of reminds me of RJ. You remember how RJ used to lob it up to Mitch? He was one of him and Quickly were the people that lobbed it to Mitch actually. So when they were gone, that stopped. So I think he would be all right. He's played with Clint Capella. He'll be all right.
I would say that. They had a 1-2 punch on a lob game between him and Capella, which is one of the things I thought this could possibly work with Mitch in this trade. There's some similarities there.
Yeah, and so I have to bounce after this, but I want to give a kudos to Fritz because you on YouTube doing these things is like mine and Ebony's homie Eddie Presti doing this on Twitter. We understand the pressure that comes and the hate of people that can't realize that you're just throwing out numbers to see what fits. But the only thing I'll say about this trade is, yes, I understand it's Karl Anthony Towns. And if you just look at the name, it makes you go, heck no. But one thing I want to draw attention to is, to me, the sleeper of this trade is Dalton. Because if you watch in the beginning of this season, before he was in any trade talks, they moved him into the starting lineup in the Lakers because of how well he was playing. And he was knocking down the 3 at a sharp clip. It wasn't until they botched the trade with the Hornets that he no longer had a desire to be in LA. And he could not trust the coaching because they had acted like he was their, part of their future. And they only did that as a masquerade to try to trade him. So he came back not wanting to play, and they didn't want him to play unless he was needed. And that's when his numbers fell off. But even in totality, with his numbers falling off and the lack of chemistry there in the last, you would even see LeBron James and him barely talked in that second half of the season, and LeBron wasn't giving him the rock anymore. So even then, he still ended the season at 38% from 3, with getting a lot less touches and everything. So your question on Jalen Brunson sitting down, this actually now gives you some shooting power off of your bench that we currently don't have. So that is something to look at. And you got to go, okay, Johnson also played with a point guard that is used to having the ball in his hand in Trae Young. Like, so it's not like it's, oh, well, his 18 points are going to suffer now because he's got a point guard that has the ball in his hand a lot. No, he had 18 points per game, even with a point guard that had the ball in his hands a lot. So it would transfer over well to what we have here.
When you have teams, I feel like there's certain players that you need to fill certain roles. I'm sorry, you have to go, Phil, right? My bad.
Yeah, appreciate you guys all. You guys are killing it.
Thanks,
I love this KOT family. Appreciate the chat. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, Phil.
All right, later.
All right. So, oops, hold on a second. Let me fix that. So you're ready. So my philosophy for those who are against the trade, when you have teams, right, you need certain players to play certain roles. So it's not enough, in my opinion, to have a guy he can score 18 points a game and say, hey, he can score. He has to be able to be like an engine and a shot creator for others consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say, yes, he's scoring 18 points a game, it's like, all right, cool, but how is he scoring the 18 points a game? He has he's a guard who's feeding the ball. He's fast. He's in transition. He's creating steals with his defense. So like we're getting rid of a guy in Karl Anthony Towns who kind of create when the offense bogs down and it can create shots. And I feel like we're giving away a little bit too much shot creation. For we getting back. I understand the philosophy having defenders. I understand having a shooter off the bench, but we need shooters off the bench, but you also have to be able to create. So I feel like we're giving away too much creation for what we're getting back. I almost feel like I don't think there's nobody in the league or on this panel who does not like Jalen Johnson, because I think he's incredible, especially for what he is. I feel like the solution would be to get like a player maybe not at that level of him, but like a smaller version of that to take like Josh Hart's spot in the starting lineup.
It's so funny because I really thought Precious would be that.
Right. Precious
but
Precious doesn't have the offensive chops either. That's the problem. So I get it, but that's my issue with it. But I get the defense all the way. I'm a defense guy too. But
yeah, he was before he got injured. He was averaging about five assists.
Mm-hmm.
He had games of 8-7, 7-7. He passes. He has 9 assist game, 10 assists. He moves. He makes himself.
I feel you. There's shot creation, right? And then there's like secondary shot creation where it's like I'm taking over, somebody else is creating an advantage, they're swinging it to me, so now I'm able to score because somebody else created the first advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it looked like he don't take no more than six 3-pointers. His max 3-pointer is 6. He not gonna shoot you. Keep shooting them threes. I'm looking at his game log right now.
I mean, that's what I see.
You're right about, by the way, you're right about the impact of him, because as soon as he went down, the Atlanta's Hawks season was completely over. I don't think they had a single chance once he went down, even with having Trae Young and having whoever else they acquired, or even Dyson Daniels having a good season. So
I remember him killing us.
Yeah,
he killed us.
His impact, you're right. The name against the other name is kind of like, wait, whoa, but he does have a Karl Towns impact in a sense, because as soon as he went down, their season was over. And just like if it would have happened vice versa, if Karl Towns wanted to went down, our season probably would have been over.
I think you know me, I like trades where we get more bodies than we give out.
But that's my issue with that. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm also not too crazy with getting rid of Hawk Party. I want to unleash him in a Knicks jersey, not someone else to figure out who he is.
For sure.
Feel you. All right. I mean, I don't know. The chat is going crazy. 146 people in the chat. Yo, we late tonight.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, hold on. I haven't paused to even acknowledge you guys because I've just been so into the damn conversation. But if you like the show so far, just do us a favor. Hit like.
We do have a super chat.
We here.